Remember when Nintendo was known for their groundbreaking and creative contributions to the gaming landscape? It seems like so long ago, especially considering now they're mostly known for suing people and undermining the legacy that they've built their company on. Since launching the Nintendo Switch Online Classic service in 2018, the company behind Mario has never removed a game. Instead, it slowly built up a decently sized library of first and third-party retro games from across multiple console libraries. However, subscribers in Japan will be losing a retro game in March, even if they've already downloaded it. It's almost unthinkable that in this age of digital media, customers are being denied access to products that they've purchased for any reason. Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to the Hard Light Network. Alrighty guys, it is that time again, and of course by that I mean it is time to talk about Nintendo as they are in the news cycle yet again. Honestly, at this point it seems like well over half of my content is about Nintendo and their shenanigans, but as long as they continue to mess around, I'm going to continue to cover them. Remember when Nintendo was known for their groundbreaking and creative contributions to the gaming landscape? It seems like so long ago, especially considering now they're mostly known for suing people and undermining the legacy that they've built their company on. To be completely honest with you guys, I really don't want to come across as a Nintendo hater. In all honesty, I see them more as a good friend who has made a lot of bad decisions. I want them to get better because of all of the good memories I have with them, but for that to happen, they need to stop screwing things up. Unfortunately, in this video, they're going to be continuing the downward trend as we cover how they are delisting yet another classic retro title from Nintendo Switch Online. But as you know guys, before we get into it, I'm going to have to ask you to hit that like button if you like the video, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content that I've got coming up for you guys in the future, and also take to the comment section down below with your thoughts on the delisting of classic titles. Also, if you want to support the channel, there are super thanks and memberships options down below. Feel free to join the channel for exclusive content and perks you can't get anywhere else. But without any further ado, let's get into this article. Today's reading comes to us from Kotaku.com and is entitled, Nintendo Switch Online losing its first retro game proves why we need Virtual Console. Nintendo is doing something the company has never done before. Next month, it will remove a retro game from the Nintendo Switch Online's classic catalog. Since launching the Nintendo Switch Online Classic service in 2018, the company behind Mario has never removed a game. Instead, it slowly built up a decently sized library of first and third-party retro games from across multiple console libraries. However, subscribers in Japan will be losing a retro game in March, even if they've already downloaded it. On February 27th, Nintendo Japan quietly announced that Super Famicom game Super Formation Soccer will be removed from the Japan Nintendo Switch's online service on March 28th. Nintendo confirmed that even players who already downloaded and installed the game on their Switch consoles will no longer be able to play Super Formation Soccer after March 28th. At the moment, it appears that this title is only being removed from Nintendo Switch Online in Japan. In America, the game was released as Super Soccer for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So far, Nintendo hasn't announced plans to remove this version from the NSO's classic catalog over here. That might be because while Super Formation Soccer was published by Spike Chunsoft in Japan, worldwide the game was published by Nintendo. So it would appear that whatever deal was in place to license the game is expiring soon in Japan. But that deal likely doesn't apply in regions where Super Soccer was published by Nintendo itself. While I doubt there was a giant audience for Super Soccer on Nintendo Switch, it's still bad news to see a game removed from the classic catalog. Although games are removed from the Game Pass and PS Plus all the time, people can still buy those games digitally. With Nintendo, these games are locked behind the NSO's subscription service, and once removed, you can no longer play them on Switch. Just another good reason why Nintendo needs to bring back the Virtual Console for Switch 2. This article confirms a long-standing fear that we've had on this channel that companies can and will remove titles from your library even after they're downloaded, at any time for any reason. We've released multiple videos on this channel covering this exact problem, and it would seem that those concerns have been completely validated by this latest example from Nintendo. And at this point, despite what the article says, I think gamers everywhere should be concerned about the permanence of their digital libraries. Not only has this recent trend from game developers shown that they have the ability to remove these titles from your library, but it also shows that they have zero concerns with actually following through and doing it. Back in the days of physical media, quote-unquote licensing issues would never be enough to remove a title from a gamer's library. If you owned a physical copy of the game, you owned it until your hardware didn't function anymore. It's almost unthinkable that in this age of digital media, customers are being denied access to products that they've purchased for any reason. It shouldn't matter how old a game is, what the size of its player base is, or what the state of their licensing agreements are for a player to play a game that they've purchased. It's honestly ridiculous that the customer is essentially being punished because these companies don't want to take responsibility for these aspects of game production and preservation, especially when you consider the fact that services like the Nintendo Switch Online catalog were specifically designed to be repositories for old games. Which brings me to the other point of this video, and the one that I'll end it on. The practice of artificially restricting access to these titles, as well as Nintendo's concerted legal efforts in attacking emulators that continue to offer access to these games, is only going to damage the legacy of these titles. Not only are they preventing means of preserving these games for future generations, it seems like they're actively taking steps to scrub their memory from existence. What's worse is that the more legal victories Nintendo's lawyers continue to accumulate against distributors of these ROMs, the more legal precedent they set against the preservation of these titles. For as many fond memories as I have of the games that these companies used to make, I don't feel like I can continue to support them, especially considering how they continue to undermine my interests as a customer, which really sucks because my kids also love their games, and I want to share the memories that I had growing up with them. Gaming is such a unique and creative medium for expression and entertainment that I genuinely feel like it's worthy to preserve these titles, despite how popular they may or may not be. I understand that these companies are businesses that have to make money, but with multiple examples of smaller developers with less resources being able to make it work, I just don't see the excuse for massive companies like Nintendo or Sony to continue with these practices. And to be completely honest with you guys, these problems are the exact reason why I've largely stopped purchasing digital titles and have begun emulating games as well as purchasing physical copies for older systems. Not only are most older titles more fun to play than this mass-produced live service slop, as long as my hardware continues to run and I take good care of the games themselves, no company is going to be able to come into my home and take it away from me. It's honestly sad that it's even gotten to this point, but that's where I'm going to end this video, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched, and if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content that I've got coming up for you guys in the future, and also hit the comment section below with your thoughts on this issue. We've talked about it a lot on this channel, and it's probably not the last time we're going to cover this problem, but you guys know as well as I do that at some point or another, in some way, shape, or form, we're going to have to show these companies that this pathway is not going to be profitable for them. It's gotten to a point where the biggest players in the industry are actively undermining the foundation of gaming itself, and something has to be done about it from the customer's standpoint. But of course, we've got a lot more to talk about in the future, so as always, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and until next time, love you guys, safe travels.